Everybody, I'm Allie, this is Luna, and in today's video I'm going to give you 5 different groundwork exercises to see how well your horse will work bitless. So today's episode we're using basically a flower hackamore. This is my first time using it, so I'll go through these exercises just like you would. Okay, before we go on, remember to subscribe and click that notification button. We're doing new content every week. Back, back. Oh, there you go. The first exercise that we're going to work on is going to be the back. Now, there are 2 methods for backing your horse off of a nose piece. And the first one, remember, you're going to be mimicking what you're doing in the saddle while you're on the back of the horse. So the first method, you're going to stand up here in front of the saddle horn, get your reins equidistant from one another. You're going to have your reins right here on either side. So it'll be about where you would hold your reins if you were riding. So you've got to be careful of your body position. You can come up here a little bit forward. You don't really want your horse's legs to be in the same position as your leg, and then you're going to have to pull back at the same time. So you're going to get contact with that bit, see how she does, and back, back, pull and release, back. And when she gives, see how she dropped her head a little bit? That's what we're looking for. So again, exercise, backing from the position of your saddle. You're going to apply pressure on both sides. If you can put your hand around the saddle horn, that works out pretty well too. It just depends on how tall you are. You're going to put equal amount of pressure and pull and ask for back, back, back. And see when she starts to bring her nose in, back, and release that rein pressure as soon as they give. So that's exercise number 1. Exercise number 2 is also a back, but it's applying pressure a whole lot lower. You're actually going to see this little V right here in your horse, right where the shoulder is. Your hands are going to be there. So what you're asking for is the horse to keep their nose low. So in this instant, you're going to face your toes backward, your body backward, and you're going to ask for pressure on the nose on either side of the neck. So now you go back, back, good, back. And see how she's really curling in? That's a lot lower pressure. So that's a back with low pressure. So that's our next exercise, is a back with low pressure. Okay, our next exercise is going to be the flex. Now, here's an important thing. You're going to stand back here in your safe zone. That would be where your saddle and your stirrup is, so you kind of right up next to the horse. Now, with your hand, your pressure is going to go straight back. Remember, because if you come out here to the side, that makes the shank kind of cut into the horse. So reach up halfway, thumb and forefinger, and ask the horse to flex and release as soon as they give. So remember, there you go, try to keep the line straight as possible, and when they give a nice big dip, you release. So this way, you know that your horse is flexing laterally. Now, what you do on one side, you do on the other. So we're going to come around here, make sure, that's your other exercise, kind of a little sneak peek. Now remember, the next set, we're going to ask our horse to flex. So stand in your safe zone, and then say whoa, and then you flex this side. So if you need the horse to come back over here, we go back to our another exercise. Remember the back up from here. See how nicely the horse backs up from low pressure. Oh, she knows that we're here. Ooh. Now we're going to ask her to flex. And flex until it stops. Good. Now, it's really important that you hold this until the horse stops and come back over here and flex. She just doesn't happen to want to be on that side of the camera. So sometimes that's what happened. But you're going to repeat that flexing exercise a bunch. Okay, our next exercise is having the horse's head actually yield downward to pressure. So that's why we have the reins out here. Now we have them connected where we would normally. Again, you can get your reins kind of in a knot so you don't get there. And this is one where you can do the squat and you're going to apply equal pressures underneath, and you're going to ask the horse to give their head down to pressure. So, ready? Just ask by holding pressure, and as soon as they release, you're going to make slack in your reins. There you go. And so that is a way to find out if the horse will give from the nose piece to downward pressure. Final exercise. You want to be making sure that your horse will do a one rein stop. And that means that your horse will flex down and then yield the hindquarters. So our next exercise is actually yielding the hindquarters and asking the horse to stop. So again, I'm going to take my hand, I'm going to bring her neck back here, and then I'm going to ask button number 3, point my toes to the flank, and ask with the saddle to yield those hindquarters. And I want to see a crossover with those back legs. So cross, cross, and then stand up straight, say whoa, and release. The horse should come to a stop. So again, on the other side, I stand back in the safe zone, put a little bit of a corner, and button number 3. Button number 3, that's behind the girth with the stirrup. And press and release until I get a crossover with those back legs. Come on. Press and release, press and release. Come on. Press and release. There we go, and whoa. So, that's your final exercise. Make sure that your horse will yield the hindquarters while having their head slightly bent. I hope that helps you out. That kind of gives you an idea where, if you want to start training your horse bitless, these groundwork exercises are a great way to start. Hope it works for you. Thank you so much for joining us on today's video. And if you enjoyed the video, give us a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. And remember, to see more, check out our bitless training playlist.